Salama Abada and OCO everyone. Today's topic is going to be on time stamping. Like, or in other words, I can say just documentation. Like, I feel like that's what keeps me um, secured when it comes to the things that I do. And of course, like copywriting and all that, etc., etc. And I don't even know why it's named copywriting. Because I ain't copying nothing but my own. And what inspired this episode is just the need to harness and hold on to my identity and what I create. There's a lot of wolves and thieves out here who's not original, who like to steal from others. Not realizing you didn't go through what they go through, so when you steal it and try to express it, you look stupid. And that was an indication that it didn't belong to you to begin with. And that's something I'm gonna have to learn how to navigate through because that's gonna happen more and more as I continue to progress. And there's gonna be many attempts, all fails, all failures through those attempts. Because when you're not authentic, you're not gonna hold or harness that information in well, or whatever the case may be, whatever you're copying. And there's a saying that goes, it's okay to copy the cat as long as it's the right cat. How about not copying at all? Like I don't even want to know why certain people do it. I just know it's embarrassing. I just know it robs you of your own authenticity. It robs you of your own creativity. It robs you for learning you, who you are, where you come from. When you sit there and just try to harness in someone else's energy. And that's the word for today, harness. Um, because that's what I'm saying frequently. And I just have to, like I said again, I have to learn how to move around that because that's something that bothered me since I was a little kid. Ever since me and my sister was on the school bus, and I would question why my sister would do certain things, and it was looked at as if I was copying my sister and I needed my own identity. I didn't like how that made me feel to hear those things being said to me when that wasn't even the case as a 5-year old, so let alone as a 27-year-old. I just never liked it being like anyone else, having similarities as anyone else. That's something I don't partake in, and it's not going to be partaken in any sense. So, like, I notice certain things. I just move around certain people. It's sad when people don't have their own identity, so they try to identity swap. The thing about that is, when you attempting to identity swap, make sure you are built to go through what they've been through in order to become what they became. And that's what a lot of idiots fail to realize. Be careful who you copy because you don't know what you're taking that comes with that. You don't know what type of hardships you're going to face. You don't know what type of energy you're going to attract. You don't even know if you built for that. You just know you want something quick, fast, and noticeable so you could become whatever you're trying to become through someone else's energy. I call these people energy vampires. I might not name it time stamping. I'm debating about that. I guess we'll see what this episode will be called once it's released. I just know it's going to be centered around identity, originality, creating your own pathway, creating your own just existence overall. Like, that's one of my pet peeves is when Someone said like a few weeks ago, don't hang around people who don't know themselves because they have become you. That I can halfway agree with that. The other half that don't know themselves, they will become doormats. You will be someone that people step all over on because they know you don't know yourself well enough to set boundaries. So there's two sides of the spectrum when it comes to that. I'm going to stick to this particular side of the spectrum, which is becoming others. That's a huge red flag. And I don't be around, no matter what side of the spectrum it is. I don't be around doormats and I don't be around people who try to become others. Then when karma hits you, you want to sit there and call somebody, why I'm going through this, why I'm going through that. Why is you trying to pick up somebody else's energy? You welcomed their life path. You welcomed what comes with them. You weren't built for it, yet you didn't care to do your research. You just wanted to be someone so you can get somewhere fast in life. The faster you obtain something, the quicker you lose it. There has to be better within this particular realm. It just has to be like, but you people have to want to do better. I can't want that for you more than you would want it for yourself. It's sad to watch. It really is. That's why I don't. I leave. I leave the audience. I don't have to sit there and watch things play out. I don't, and therefore I won't. it it gets tiresome, and then people will try to gaslight you when you call them out. Ah, where you get this from? That came from me. Don't try to flip it on me like I'm identity swiping when it's really you trying to attempt to do as such. That's what I might entitle this episode. Well, there will be many failed attempts, I'll tell you that. Cause I'm not crashing out just to remove people from my lane. You're gonna crash your own selves out. You shouldn't be in nobody else's lane. There's enough, like everybody have their own custom made domain. Stick with yours. I didn't always like me. I didn't always love me. The difference between me and whoever agreed, but seems to do the opposite. As I saw it through, I'm walking my course. I never wanted to identity swap with no one. I never wanted to be anyone else. There's not one person on this planet or individual on this planet I would want to be. Yes, I have inspirations and individuals I look up to, not well enough that I wanted to become them. It was well enough to see myself through them and respect them for how they partake and how they carry themselves, not necessarily wanting to be them. And that's where the line is drawn. That's the difference. Um, there's something called dissociative identity disorder, which is like a strand of schizophrenia. It's more common than common itself. I see it in a lot of people. I'll call them NPCs too, non-player characters, because you really playing off someone else's script. You don't have your own script. And like I said, it's one of my pet peeves. I wouldn't say it's the number one. It's definitely top three because I see the damage that it caused in those who fight to prove themselves. Um, and that's something I got out of, or getting out of rather. I'm not gonna continuously fight to prove myself. I'm just gonna become the receipt queen and empress rather, and just stack up all my timestamps, my documentations, my proof, and put that out there and let my results speak for itself. You can copy me, however, you will never be me. Copy the same struggles that I've been through, that I felt suicidal towards. Copy that. See, they don't want to do that. They want the results, they don't want the process. They don't want the process. And the process for me was unexpected. I wasn't expecting for my life to be like this. No one would expect for their life to be take a lot of twists and turns and dark alleys like mine have taken. No one will wish for that. No one will want for that. No one will sit for that. It can either build character or destroy you as a whole. And I'm just grateful to be a living testament enough to express and communicate with you all about it, whether it be bits by bits, piece by piece, not necessarily in this whole formality of it. And as long as I stay my course and stay more focused on me than I'm focused on anyone else, I'm gonna do my best to not let it um, hinder me or trigger me. Triggers are good to point out where you need to heal at. So I would never condemn triggers or negativity, because same for negativity. Negativity can direct you where the positivity needs to be improved at. So that's something I just need to work on, how to better navigate through identity um, theft. Like, that's something that I've really cannot stand in people. And that's not everyone. If the shoe fits, it fit. If it don't, move along. If anyone can have witnessed that or just been triggered by that themselves, then they get where I'm coming from. Because it's like, I work hard to better myself. I work hard to get myself out of dark times. I did a lot of soul searching, soul healing, and there's continuous healing behind what I'm doing. And for you to try to take that and flip that and make it your own, knowing that ain't where you came from, and now it's your testimony and not mine, that's weird, that's retarded, that's schizo, that's psychotic on a level that's very unexplainable to many, breakdownable to some. Man, it's just, I could see it in a lot of areas, in a lot of spaces, in a lot of places, a lot of faces, masking, changing, switching, pretending to be something that they would never be. If anybody have any clue on how to better navigate through that, let me know. Help me to help you, help me, help us. Because that really irks my soul. One thing I can say though is I'm getting better at moving around people like that. Cause those are type of people. I ain't having no dealings with you. Don't even want to have no feelings towards you either. Just want to simply move on and let that facade fade away. Because it's like, I know what I've been through, and no one can tell my story better than me. No one can take something from me and make it their own. Because no one can express the the cause and effects behind the causality of all that better than I can. Because I've been through what I've been through. Only I can express what I put out there in the universe. No one can express that for me. It's it's a real struggle out here for a lot of people. Like, they will honestly not know themselves and just literally, and social media is a portal. Let me intertwine the two with identity swiping and social media swiping. Like, y'all be swiping on social media. I don't know if Dora cast a spell on y'all when Dora said swipe or no swiping, or uncast a spell, but y'all need to go on swiping no swiping online here. That's what it is. Let me stop, because my St. Louis accent is coming out. No, but seriously, yeah, just swipe on by, swipe on away. Y'all be on, and when I say y'all, I'm talking about people that fit the category of what I'm discussing. Just be on social media, picking up so many different people personalities, and you swear you authentic, you swear it's you. But yeah, we got timestamps. We can time travel on social media and say, wow, that's where you got that from. Like, a lot of y'all be fooling yourselves. You don't be fooling no one else. You can fool You can barely fool a fool, because usually a fool can recognize another fool, and you damn sure can't fool someone that's highly intelligent. Y'all forbid you get read to filth. Y'all really be trying it out here. And I'm not the only one that be fighting against that. I'm not the only one. I just want to fight differently. Just want to move with grace. Let the receipt speak for itself. So I for sure timestamp everything. Like, yep, I did this, I did that, just in case somebody lie. Try to take the credit for what they didn't go through. I expressed this, I expressed that. Got the copywriting. It need to be a name for that. Cause y'all be doing a lot of infragments. That's what some of y'all be doing, and it's sad. But you know what? I got my documentation, I got my proof, I got my LLC. So try to steal that. Fight the law, not me. Fight the law. See, it's a different type of fight when people try to come up against me in my originality. And that's sad. You even have to take it that far to protect your content, to protect you, because others don't know how to find themselves and be themselves. I didn't know. I didn't always know myself. I took time to be with myself. I was in solitude and I learned myself. I knew what I didn't want to be, and that was a starting point for me to find out who I am. So if I can do it, hey, there's multiple and other ways others can do it as well. If there's a stumbling block, start knocking down them blocks, bits by bits, piece by piece. It don't have to be all at once, cause I'm knocking them down bits by bits, piece by piece. It ain't all happening at once for me neither. However, there's no excuses being made over here. And like, this is in real time. I did not expect to talk about this today. I was actually going to talk about how my voice matter and stuff like that. That was going to be the topic for today. However, I'm going to let my emotions have its way within these early hours with a bit of logic to it. I don't want to honestly let my emotions take over the whole episode because sometimes my emotions can be all over the place. It can even be misdirected at some in certain cases. That's why I always give space for my logic to step in, which makes me question everything within the midst, within my grasp, within my inner monologue, within my inner thoughts. And it's important to have that balance, because if I didn't have that balance, I would be very insane to the midbrain. I wouldn't have a clue of where certain things come from. There's a lot of there's a lot of explanations behind it, not enough healing, not enough clarity, not enough, I wouldn't even say clarity, just not enough accountability, responsibility, time for self for a lot of people. And my main focus have to be on making sure I have that for myself, rather than complaining about why it's not in any one of those that I speak of. In regards of the matter of identity crisis, it's it takes a lot. There's something that came to my mind that's very interesting, like going into the root. Yeah, this episode definitely gonna tie with identity. It's definitely it's definitely a identity crisis, and the a roots rather than the roots that I can trace far back to is in biblical terms. I'm not gonna say no names because many will get offended. But there were people biblically that took other people's identity just to rise in power. And that's where I'm getting at with this identity maniac mentality that has been taking place for centuries. Like, that's centuries. If it can go all the way back to biblical terms, yeah, that's a long time. That's a long fight. This fight was around before my existence, before my probably my great great grandmother existence. It's This is nothing new. Under the sun, near the sun, bypass the moon, universe, galaxy. It's a big issue. Like, very few address it because it benefits the higher ups. I ain't gonna say no names. However, it is public record. You can look up certain things and trace certain things back to certain makers. You know what? It's sad because I was reading scripture, am reading scripture, and almost finished with the Bible. It took 6 months and a few days. Hopefully, I'm done before the seventh month. And it was a lot of that. It was a lot of identity theft going on. It was a lot of, you can even see it in the industry as well. It was a lot of deactivating one existence so you can create your own and build your own off someone else's. That's pitiful. That's sad. It's a disgrace. That goes beyond jealousy. That's a genetic malfunction. And I'm gonna keep talking about that, bringing that up, because that plays a major role in how people function, how individuals function overall as well. That's nothing to play with. That's why Mm-mm. I don't take that lightly. I don't take that lightly. That's how psychos are born. That's how maniacs are born. That's how serial killers are born. When you leave things undressed, unsaid, you become the barrier. You don't want to get buried under. You suppressing things that shouldn't be suppressed. Certain things have to be spoken up and spoken out about. Identity has been used as a weapon even before biblical times. Because I keep saying terms, biblical times. It goes beyond that. Because what was going on before the writings? And that's where genetic malfunctioning comes in at as well. It's a lot of unspoken things that needs to unravel. I don't know I'm falling on the deep end of it, like really just talking around it for my own sanity of it. Like, I want to talk about the industry part of it. Even certain artists was beefing about that. Like if you look up, you will see it a lot in the industry. There's something called deactivating the artist. That's like an Illuminati tactic. You knock down one in order to rise. You make it seem like it's just one person popping right now when there's multiple people popping, but you put a huge and a bigger machine behind this one, and what they do is hover over other energies and partake in vessels that's not theirs. And when karma hit them, it hits them hard. See, the more you do wrong, it comes back to you in ways that you can barely handle it. And there are people that be having the audacity to, woe is them, I'm a prey. They were prey. No, they were predators to a prey. So to pray for them, that's laughable to me and karma. Like what? That's why I don't. I don't get in the way of karma. I don't do that because karma don't play, and I saw that firsthand. I got my own karma to deal with. That's why I'm not quick to woe is them, why them. I don't know what you're doing behind the scenes. I don't know who identity you tried to attack, you tried to destroy. I don't. Mm-mm. And it always comes to the light. It do. It do. It do. You know what? See, yeah. I don't know why it's on me this heavy within these early hours. It is like soon as when I woke up, I went on my social media to make sure my phone running. Cause my phone, I need a new phone. This one been tripping. But anyway, I went on social media. Somebody was arguing about somebody else's identity and calling them out. I don't know what type of identity epidemic is going on, but it is crazy. A lot of people identity is getting exposed. Their mask is getting ripped off. You're seeing a lot of people for who they really are. A lot of people is telling on themselves. It's like a shift is going on, and it's affecting the identity. And notice within the word identity, you hear rather, I, as in eyes, identity. I don't know what deity is hovering over spirits. It's seeable and it's feelable. I tell you that much. There's a shift going on since January. Like a lot of beefs. See, like now it's coming out. It's coming out of me now. A lot of people beefing, and then February 1st, there's a new beef. I'm like, dang, like I'm oh my goodness, I'm curious. I'm kind of worried about March. Like we just started February and there's a new beef in town. Like, oh my goodness, what is going on? There's an identity war. I'm gonna keep this episode. Remember this topic of discussion that I had on here because I don't know what's going on, but there's an attack on identity. It really is. I don't know what's going on. There's an attack. Because I didn't know why I talked about this within these early hours. I just know it needed to be talked about. Because I'm like, this, and it just came soon when I picked up and hit record. I'm like, oh, that's what I'm talking about. Because I was literally, and I have it in my notes, I already, like, okay, I'm going to talk about this topic. And it's like, no, it's shift. So, like I said, I don't know what's going on within the realm of identity. I just know it's impacting and I feel it. I notice certain things, I see certain things, but you know what? The chosen ones, we straight, we good. That's for sure, we good. Because as long as you know who you are, you won't be persuaded and take off. Take off, you wouldn't be driven to a cliff because you're not following and you're not being led by the blind. You seriously have to be psychologically blind to try to hover in and take over someone else's spirit, someone else's identity, because it goes deeper than the spirit. Like you don't know what portals you opening up when you try to tap into someone else's frequency, someone else's energy. That's a dangerous game to play in. That's what I'm going to title this. The endangerment of identity swipe. Now that's too long of a title. That's too long of a title. Identity swiping, and I'm going to put a warning sign. You know what? That might be good. That might be good. This is live and direct, y'all. Y'all are really trying to figure this. Well, y'all witnessing me figuring this title out. But yeah, I'm gonna just continually move on with grace and just document everything and copyright all my content and stuff. Especially with this new level that I'm partaking in, I have to protect and cover myself because people is lost. They know it's a shift, and a lot of people know it's gonna miss them. That's why they're trying to hover over other people and take and snatch other people fortunes away from them. That ain't how that work. That is not how that work. Mm-mm. I don't know who told you, who showed you different. Don't be tricked out here. Don't be tricked up and tricked out up out here. If that ain't your identity, if that ain't your purpose, you better find yours and move away. Don't move behind. Move completely away from whoever you playing with. Like I'm telling you, there's a identity epidemic out here. It truly is. I feel it. I see it. I noticed it. Tried, being tried rather, and it's like, nah, I'm not gonna be played with. I'm protected over here, so you're gonna have to find somebody else to play with. You know, my name ain't Chucky. I don't want to play, cause how I play and how you play, and you ain't built for my game system. So just go and move around, go and find you, do some grounding, let your feet touch the grass, go hug a tree. You know, get in tune and in touch with nature. You know, do something for the betterment of you, because playing with someone's identity, that's a dangerous game to play. It truly is. I don't know. Like I said again, I don't know who told, who showed different. Don't be deceived out here. It's a lot of deception going on. And I hope y'all know how to fight energetically, because it's deeper than spirituality. You better find out who created the spirit and, and learn from that source. Because it's only going to get realer. There's a lot of facade, there's a lot of fake going on. Don't let that be the detriment to your existence. Don't let that be the stumbling block into you finding you. Because we're going to need to know ourselves, especially with this new shift that's going on. It's going to always be a lot of shifts. You just got to be strong, willing enough to stay the course. Your own course, no one else's. To be continued, because this is a conversation. This is a must have, a must see again, and must speak on again. And I'm gonna keep y'all updated on, yeah, if I see something, notice something, or something hit the fan that relates to what I'm talking about, because this is a heavy topic for a heavy moment, for a heavy situation, a heavy shift that's going on within the atmosphere. So yeah, for those that be identity swiping, take this as a warning. For those who don't be identity swiping, take this as a sign of protecting yourself and your identity, because there's an epidemic going on. There's an identity crisis going on. People know they finna miss a certain shift and they trying to shift on to somebody else's vessel. Hold on tight to yours and guard yourselves. Stuff is crazy. It's the last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna include here. There's a series called Beyond Her. Y'all might want to check that out. I hope I'm not incorrect with the title. Might want to check that out. That's a real thing. Until then, Aragayuri and Varada Kadesh.